Sydney Harbour Bridge is iconic for Sydney. It's iconic for Australia. Hundreds of thousands of people rely on the Sydney Harbour Bridge each day to commute to and from work.
The grand old dame, the Sydney Harbour Bridge, is having a major facelift. The fact is that, in particular, the waterproofing was affecting the road surface, and so stripping it back to the original concrete that was laid in the 1930s, putting down a proper waterproofing membrane means that the surfaces put over it in future will hopefully hold up a bit longer.
The waterproofing we're using on the bridge approaches is fairly special. It's the same sort of waterproofing they use to waterproof dams. It's a very good waterproofing service.
I do need for the safety rules to be observed and strictly observed.
Safety is our number one priority. We're going to do the job properly and we're going to do it safely. What we have here assembled is actually some of the profiling equipment, which is the cold milling machines. We also have all the trucks that are be utilised for the first phase of the work, which is the removal of the asphalt.
As you can see by all the vehicles we've got here for the opening round of the profiling, is basically making sure each and every one of these trucks and floats, bobcats, everything are in the right position when they need them. We bring them all up in convoy, making sure all the northbound, or all the northern section of the guys are all in one group so they can start.
It is a massive project. This would probably be one of the biggest single night projects that I'd say the country's ever seen. We have over 75 pieces of plant up there and over 120 people just for the milling operation. So there's never been a job that I can think of that's had that much gear and that many people all in the one place at the one time.
We've got the whole industry basically here. We've also got a working relationship that, if you need help, I help you, and if I need help, you help me, which has made it a lot easier to coordinate this job.
Competitors are coming together as a team.
We've never closed the Harbour Bridge for this duration ever, and in the history of it, we'll have the bridge closed for over 50 hours. That's a significant closure. We have up to 130,000 vehicle trips on the Harbour Bridge every Saturday and Sunday in January 2011.
We really want to make as minimum impact as we can, and to do that, it really does involve a lot of coordination.
As soon as you start to get traffic issues, I'll let you know.
We'd started doing the concrete primer, then we've actually had the shower, and unfortunately we had to suspend the works for a short time. Once it clears, we'll bring back the heaters, we'll dry it, and we'll continue on.
These are Wirtgen heater machines, HM4500, which are used to dry back the pavement so an epoxy layer can be applied to the bridge deck. They work on infrared heaters. As you can see, there is a large gas vessel that runs on LPG. We've stripped off all of the asphalt, we're back to the concrete, we've cleaned up the concrete, and we're now in the process of starting the waterproofing layer on the southern approach and shortly the main approach.
We are actually using a polyurea type waterproofing, and it's actually a three-stage process where we need a concrete primer, then we have our waterproof layer, then we have another primer to stick the waterproof laying to the asphalt layer. Those areas are basically on the two approaches, north and south.
The second stage is the most important stage. That's the actual waterproof membrane itself. We have 6 of those machines that we spray the membrane on with. The third layer is essentially an adhesive, a glue, to bond our polyurea, our waterproof membrane, to our fourth layer. The fourth layer are the pellets, but yeah, the third layer is really just a glue that bonds our polyurea to the pellets.
In the middle part of the bridge, which is really from pylon to pylon, we've been using our more conventional system, which is a hot spray seal.
We are involved in the asphalt paving, so we have to organize all the gears, all the equipments that we need, and a lot of contingency plans being put in place. We have got spare machines, basically double the amount that we need, and also with weathers, if we can't do it straight away, we're going to have 2 crews working to make sure that we finish on time.
Two and a half days of rain in 2 weekends, yet they still managed to deliver it.
Everyone knew what had to be done, and it didn't matter whether it was their company or someone else's.
The extra yards that the contractors and the people involved in this, went over the 2 weekends, was just incredible.
They've all chipped in to get the end result, and we're very proud to see that.
The best thing about it, there wasn't one injury on site.
The surface of the bridge is as good as it can be. It's got a very good ride surface. It's in magnificent condition now, and that I think is why a lot of the people working on this project are very proud that they've been involved in it.
There's not too many people in Australia that can say I've worked on the Sydney Harbour Bridge.
The work we've undertaken is vital to maintain that bit of infrastructure for those people of Sydney and to preserve the bridge for another 100 years.